Between my staff and Democrats and Republicans, we came to a clear bipartisan deal for the strongest border security agreement in decades. But then Republicans in Congress, not all of them, walked away from it. Why? Because Donald Trump told them to. He told the Republicans, it has been published widely by many of you, that he didn't want to fix the issue. He wanted to use it to attack me. That's what he wanted to do. It was a cynical and an extremely cynical political move, and a complete disservice to the American people who are looking for us to not to weaponize the border, but to fix it. Today, I'm joined by a bipartisan group of...
Okay. He talks about that bill and that Trump told him to not worry about it. Why is this guy waiting until 6 months before the election to do something about the border? I mean, for 3.5 years, from the day he got in there, he canceled all of them executive orders that Trump put in. And now, when the election and he's getting his butt wiped, he wants to sit there and, I'm going to fix the border. But, you know, he talks about all these judges. We didn't need all these judges before. Them judges are being put there to get more people through the asylum system and as residents. That's why he's going to hire the judges. The Border Patrol, I wouldn't even be surprised if that's just hearsay and he's just going to not hire them. And I'm sure people are still crossing that border today, and I'm sure they'll still be doing it for the next 6 months. This is just something to try and get voters to vote for him.
Governors, members of Congress, mayors, law enforcement officials, most of whom live and work along the southern border. They know the border is not a political issue to be weaponized. The responsibility we have to share to do something about it. They don't have time for the games played in Washington, and neither do they.
Okay, so now he's saying the border's not a political item. Then why did he get rid of all them executive orders keeping the illegals in Mexico? Why did he just cancel all of them? And why have hundreds of thousands of people been coming across monthly? I'm talking monthly. And he says it's declining. That's just a lie. It's picking up. As they know that he was going to do something, they started pouring down to that. I mean, Mexico is not attempting to stop illegals, period. There's caravans just coming through. There's trains loaded with people coming through. And if you're a Democrat and you believe that's a lie, then you're blind, you're deaf, and you're obviously stupid. Because there is no way no one can believe that border is closed. And you know what? Speaking of that, how many times have we been told the border is closed by Democrats? There's nothing going on there, nothing to see. The border is closed. Remember when AOC was crying at the fence? Biden and Obama put them cages in there. Never heard about that probably. But you know what? Now Biden's in charge, and you don't have to worry about cages because they're just walking in. But it just seems like yesterday they were talking about there's no crisis at the border, that it's secure. I believe, what's her name? That real smart lady. Oh my God. Oh, Harris. That's right. That lady that graduated from college, became an attorney, and talks about yellow buses. So let's just go on.
The American people. So today, I'm moving past Republican obstruction and using the executive authorities available to me as president to do what I can.
Now, I'm sorry that I have to click pause on my computer because I'm not really good at this streaming stuff. But this really rubbed me wrong. I gotta pass Republicans. Okay, he could have done this day 2 the day after he opened the border, he could have done this and closed it. So everyone knows this is a political move so that he can try and appease the American people and get votes. That's all this is for. This son of a gun, as soon as he wins, that border is going to be open, and you can bet there's going to be 20 million people in this country that's going to become citizens. And they ain't going to be from this country. And if you think all these shootings in these Democrat states like New York, Chicago, and that are going to get better, I mean, they defunded the police, and then they said, well, the Republicans wanted to defund the police. No, they didn't. It was all Democrats. Democrats led this country down the rabbit hole, turned it to a piece of crap, and now they're going to act like it was all the Republicans. And I know most of you see through this, but there's some Democrats out there still that think that this guy is all roses, man.
And on my own to address the border. Frankly, I would have preferred to address this issue through a bipartisan legislation.
No, he didn't.
Because that's the only way to actually get the kind of system we have now that's broken, fixed, to hire more Border Patrol agents, more asylum officers, more judges.
More
But
judges.
Republicans have left me with no choice. Today,
Oh,
I'm
we
announcing
didn't?
actions to bar migrants who cross our southern border unlawfully from receiving asylum. Migrants will be restricted from receiving asylum at our southern border unless they seek it after entering through an established lawful process. Those who seek to come to the United States legally, for example, by making an appointment and coming to a port of entry, asylum will still be available to them, still available. But if an individual chooses not to use our legal pathways, if they choose to come without permission and against the law, they'll be restricted from receiving asylum and staying in the United States.
Now, how many believe
This
that?
action will help us to gain control of our border, restore order into the process. This ban will remain in place until the number of people trying to enter illegally is reduced to a level that our system can effectively manage.
What is
We'll
that?
carry out this order consistent with all our responsibilities under international.
So there is no
Every one
ban.
of them. In addition to this action, we recently made important reforms in our asylum system, more efficient and more secure reforms. The goal is to deliver decisions on asylum as quickly as possible.
So what exactly did he mean? Until it gets down to where we can handle it. Does that mean that as soon as they drop down to 5,000 a day, he's going to say, okay, just cross anywhere again. Borders open. Turn the turnstile on. I mean, come on, he just said it. He just said the lie out loud. Until it's manageable numbers. Manageable numbers. That's where the little lie is. So when you come up and you say, well, wait, it's open again. Well, I told you it'd be closed until it was manageable numbers. So he just told you that this border is not going to be closed.
The quicker decision means that a migrant is less likely to pay a criminal smuggler thousands of dollars to take him on a dangerous journey, knowing that if in fact they move in the wrong direction, they're returned around quickly. And 2 weeks ago, the Department of Justice started a new docket in the immigration courts to address cases where people who've recently crossed the border and they make a decision within 6 months rather than 6 years, because that's what happens now. Additionally, the Department of Homeland Security has proposed new rules to allow federal law enforcement to more quickly remove asylum seekers that have criminal convictions and remove them from the United States. My administration has also recently launched new efforts to go after criminal networks that profit from smuggling migrants to our border and incentivize people to give tips to law enforcement, provide information to bring smugglers to justice. We're also sending additional federal prosecutors to hotspots along the border.
Tell us what you're
and
doing.
prosecute individuals who break our immigration laws.
What's the bill? What's
One
the
other
numbers?
critical step that we'll be taking, and that is made a huge difference. We continue to work closely with our Mexican neighbors instead of
right.
attacking Mexico. And it's worked. We've built a strong partnership.
You know, I hear a lot of words from this guy, but I've learned not to trust anything he says. And all I'm hearing from what I can, I've seen in the past is lies. And we all know this guy lies nonstop. Well, I'd love to play more, but I want to get that part out about the border of that. So I am going to stop this and I'm going to download it and share it with y'all.
Partnership of trust between
Thank you.
Mexican President Lopez
Thank you
Obrador
for looking or
and the
watching.
same with Mexican
And I don't
President
care if you hit
Lopez
like or
Obrador.
subscribe or whatever.
We've chosen to work together with Mexico.